I bees in the trap, bees in the trap, I bees in the trap.
Hey y'all, what's up? It's Rari. So I'm here today to do a Q&A on the things that y'all asked me. So I'm sorry, I forgot. So I posted on my social media, on my Snapchat, on my Instagram, on my Twitter, and on my Facebook. I posted and asked for y'all to send me some questions so I can do a Q&A. I already did one, but now I have like a different crowd. I have a little bit more people, so I feel like, hold on y'all, sorry, I needed something for my lips. I know my lips was dry. Let's do it. Alright, so we just gonna get into it because one, my son is asleep and he don't be letting me be great when he woke, and two, I forgot to charge my battery, so I don't know how much juice I got, so I can't really waste no time. Got it? Cool. Alright, so I'm gonna ask the questions in the order that I received them. I just copied and pasted them onto my notepad, and we just gonna do it like that. So the first question that I have is, how do you find an equal balance between being a mom, your own person, and a businesswoman? I think that that's actually a really good question because I didn't notice at first I was so focused on being a mom that I wasn't focused on being myself. I was focused on my business. I never really lost track of my business, but at one point I really did feel like, damn, like, you know, like, damn, I'm not even being myself. I'm so focused on making sure I'm being a good mom. Like, when you first have a child, that's something that you naturally do. You naturally be like, oh my God, I have to make sure I do this. I gotta do this. I gotta do this. I gotta do this. Everything is about your baby. If you're a good mom, that's what's on your mind, is being a good mom. So it is hard being yourself, and it took me time. I didn't just like come home from the hospital and it's like, boom, back to being me, back to Ny'Asia, back to Rari. I didn't feel like that. It took time. But what I just did was I started doing stuff that I know that I enjoy to do. Like, I know I like getting my nails done. I know I like getting my hair done. I know I like doing hair. I know that I like making wigs. So, you know, yeah, I make sure I'm a mom all the time. Being a mom just don't stop. So as far as how do I make sure I be a mom, I just do that around the clock. It just don't stop. So that just don't stop. But as far as just making sure I be myself, I being my own person, I just still do things that I enjoy. I still keep my friends in my life. I still, you know, take trips. I still make sure me and my man have, you know, our time for ourselves. We still go to the movies. We still get drunk. We still take trips. Like, you have to still live your life. You can't focus on one thing. Like, when you have multiple, you know, I have a relationship. I have to be a mother, and I have to be a businesswoman. Like, I just do it. But the main thing is just making sure you do it. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know what works for different people, but, you know, maybe write down 3 things that you know you want to do and make sure you do one every single month. Write down 10 things you want to do, something like that, and just make sure you do them so that you're still making time for yourself. That's probably the best advice I can give for that. How do you handle stress? When I'm stressed out, I don't really know, because the only things that really would stress me out is money. I'm always like, I have to be on my toes. I have to make sure my money good. Like, that's just how I am. So money, when I'm stressed out about money, I make up ways for me to get money. Like like, if I'm down, I think of ways to get myself out of that situation. You know, I don't drown in it. I don't allow my brain to focus on that negative energy for so long. So I mean, I might go a day, I might cry for a day, I might cry for an hour, I might cry for 10 minutes. But when I'm crying or when I'm stressed, I'm thinking of ways for me to not feel that way again, if that makes sense. So if I'm stressed about money, I'm crying, but I'm thinking of promotions that I can have that's gonna get some money in my pocket. Okay, if I'm stressed about my relationship, if we're arguing about something, I'm thinking of, okay, what is the root cause of this? What are we really arguing about? How can we fix this? You feel me? Boom. How am I going to speak? You know, how am I going to bring this to my man attention so we can fix this? You know, and those really the only things. Other than that, I don't really let nothing else stress me out. I feel like I can get through anything. So I guess it's really a mindset thing. I can't give a direct solution, but that's what I do. Is I'll mourn, but I don't allow myself to mourn for long periods of time. When I'm mourning, not really mourning, but when I'm stressed, I I think of ways to get myself out of that situation. That's just what it is for that. Where do you see yourself personally and business wise in 5 years? So in 5 years, personally, I see myself married. I see myself with maybe another child, maybe 2. I don't know. My max is 3, so if it's 2, then that's it. But 3, you know, whatever. I see myself very wealthy. I see myself out of Columbus. I see myself in a big house. I see myself happy. My business, I see my business being very successful. I see myself having my own salon. And just prospering. I see my business prospering. Hold on. Sorry, I always have to make sure my camera is recording because sometimes it just cuts off and it makes me sorry. The next question is, when y'all getting married? We get married when he give me that ring that I deserve and he put it on my finger and we plan the wedding again. Boom, boom, boom. It's no rush though. I get asked that a lot. It's no rush for us. You know, we love each other. We know we love each other. We know our love ain't going nowhere. A ring is just, you know, I'm getting it. I want it. But it's not a rush to me. It's not something that I'm like, I have to get a ring and I don't put shit on him, or, you know, it's gonna come. And when it do come, it ain't gonna change nothing but my last name. So to me, a ring is not anything for me to rush for. But when it do come, y'all gonna know, and it's gonna be amazing. And that's that. What inspired you to do hair? I say before everything, but as far as hair, I really didn't have anything that inspired me to do it because I started doing it so young. It was just something I like doing. Like, I started braiding my niece's hair. I used to braid, like, my mom used to give me Bratz dog, like the mannequin head. So I really didn't have anything that's like, okay, start doing hair. Like, I didn't lose my hair. I didn't have anybody in my family lose hair. It wasn't nothing big like that. I just did it, and I kept doing it, and I noticed I had a passion for it. Now, how I loop back around to it, because I did go to college, I did get a degree, but once I got into my field, which I have a bachelor's in accounting, but once I like worked in my field and I was working for people, I noticed I didn't like working for people. So, and I was doing hair on the weekends, like when I was off of work, and I was so much happier while I was doing hair than I was when I was at work. So I'm like, boom, that's what I need to be doing, hair. And that's what inspired me to like open my business, I guess. But as far as just hair in general, I've had my license since 2012. So I mean, I just always had a passion for hair. Have you been satisfied with every hairstyle you've ever done? No, not at all. Not at all. I'm still not satisfied with every hairstyle I do. Like, you're always going to be your own biggest critic. So when I'm doing hair, it's like, it's always something that I'm like, damn, I could have did this. Damn, I could have. Always. Like, always. Even when I look at it and I'm like, oh my God, I did so good. I always find something that I could have did. So now there's styles that I'm very satisfied with. The majority of my styles, yes, I'm satisfied with them. But there's always something that I see I could have done better. So to answer that, no, I'm not satisfied with every hairstyle. Can you talk about how to make your business legal? The first thing you need to do is figure out, is your business an LLC? Is it a sole proprietor? Whatever the different words are. Figure out what kind of business your business is. And then you get the requirement for that. So mine, for example, is a LLC. So that's what I had to get for my business. Once you get online, I believe it's like I live in Ohio. I think ours is like Ohio. I don't know. I'm going to look it up. I'm going to put the link. I'm going to type the link on here. I'm going to remember to do that because I don't know. But you go to that website. They'll tell you the different types. You figure out which one your business is. You do that. That's the first step. Boom. I think mine was $99 or $59. Somewhere $100 and below. So that's so easy to get. It tells you if that name is available. If not, it'll give you suggestions or you can change your name. That's very important though, because you don't want to make a brand, have shirts, have a location, have all this advertisement, social media, and then you go to do your legal work and somebody already got that name, because now you have to change all of this. So I say do that first. Make sure your name is available before you just go making a business. So do that first. You need to get your EIN. Your EIN, your tax ID, that's like the social security number for your business pretty much. Like when you want to get business loans and things of that nature, you're going to use your EIN. Okay, it's like a social security number. After that, well, that's really the legal. Depending on what you're doing, like what you're selling and stuff like that, you might need a seller's license or seller's permit. Honestly, I don't know all the different aspects, but for hair, you will. If you're selling clothes, some people like to sell, merchandise with your shirt, with your logo on it. You need to get one. Where to start if you're a stylist with no experience? I would say YouTube. I learned a lot of stuff from YouTube. It's a lot of free game, a lot of free knowledge. A lot of the people that's teaching classes now, they're kind of teaching them for people that have a little bit of knowledge. So if you don't know anything, it's not going to pay for real to go to classes. You're going to just be spending money, but you don't really understand anything. So I say start with YouTube, where you can see a bunch of videos of people doing different techniques. Practice on family and friends. Do as much. I don't care if you're doing it for free, if you're doing it for $20, $50, do it for cheap, and practice. See, I said my camera be cutting off. It just cut off mid-question. So hopefully I got it when I think it cut off. Like, I don't know. But anyway, the next question was how to stay encouraged in a market that's so oversaturated. This is another thing that I think is mental, because like anything you do, like say you do nails, you're going to be looking at so many different nail techs that first off, you're going to be looking at the best. So if you're always looking at the best and you're looking at 100 different artists, once you start looking at something, that's all you see on your social media, right? So you can't just be like, oh, she do nails, I can't do nails. You cannot do that, because no matter what, that's gonna be there. The competition ain't going nowhere. So to stay motivated, I just say keep going, just keep doing it, keep doing it. Like the more you practice, the better you get. And when you have a passion for something, you fall so in love with the outcome that you can't stop. Like that's how I am. Like with frontals, I didn't want to do them at first, but everybody kept asking me, so I'm like, all right, if I'm gonna do them, I have to master them. I have to master these, or I have to, because I'm looking at the competition. Their shit is amazing. The people in my city, it's people in my city that's amazing. So I'm like, if I'm gonna do it, it don't make sense to half-ass it. So okay, boom, I start doing it. It looks shitty, but I didn't stop, because I'm like, okay, every single time I saw something I did better, boom, the first time I did it, okay, I got it to gel, shit, at least it stayed down 2 days, you got me, alright, boom, next time I did one, cool, I bleached the knots better, okay, I got the knots the color I want, I didn't get it to melt, but I got it the color I want, cool, boom, the next time, oh, I plucked that one better than the last time. So it's not going to happen overnight. With anything you do, if you're selling clothes, you're not going to get 100 sales overnight. You might see a story where somebody did, but that don't mean it's going to happen to you. So you just can't let the competition what's the word I'm trying to get, intimidate you. You can't let them intimidate you. You can use it as motivation, but you cannot let that shit you can't let it, you feel me, knock you down. You can't let it bring you down. You can't let it discourage you. Motivation, not discouragement. So boom, you can look at it like, damn, okay, I'm 24. I can look at it like, okay, she's 23 and she got what? She got this kind of car. She got this much money. Bet, I know it's possible. That's as far as it's going. Not I want to be her. Not, oh, I'm hating on her. Oh, she weak. Oh, none of that. You have to keep a positive mindset. Boom, that's amazing. I'm proud of her. That's what's up. Okay, so now I know that it's possible. I know I need to go a little bit harder. Take notes. Go to their page. See what they doing different. Look at how they advertising. Look at their page. See what kind of content they got. See what kind of followers they got. See what they're doing different. The one big thing that I can say, that if you're in a saturated market, do something different. Find something in that market that you feel like is needed. So you feel me? Find something that, okay, so boom, everybody making wigs. Everybody don't know how to make wigs on a sewing machine. Cool. Be that person to get on there and make wigs on a sewing machine back to back to back to back to back. Master it. Post it every single day. Post different techniques. Post different type of machines. Shit like that. Stuff that people it's gonna catch their attention. They want to know. It's something new. You make wigs faster. You know, people like, oh wow, wow, wow. You know, stuff like that. Be the person that's find something that's going to make you stand out. Because if you're just posting every day, 3 bundles for $150. 3 bundles of luxurious body wave. Come get your tresses. Stuff like that. People see that every day. They don't care. The best lace in the game. You can't just say stuff like that. You have to show stuff. Show different techniques. Find a way to do something that everybody not doing it already online. So just find a way to stand out. It's not going to come overnight. Stay encouraged. Keep going. No matter how many people respond, know that people see you. That's a big thing. We might look at some people like, damn, she got 1,000 comments on her post. I only got 2. So what? Just because you got 2 don't mean 1,000 people didn't see your post. People don't support you until you're doing good. When people see you're doing good, then they start to support. I can't say why, but that's just how life goes, unfortunately. Now you got people that's gonna support you. Don't let that. Don't think that that's not it. You gonna have people that support you. I have supporters that supported me since day one, literally since like hairstyles I look back at like, why she let me do that? You feel me? So you're gonna have your supporters, and that's who you need to focus on. That's who you cater to. Those are who matter. The people that's not supporting, they don't. Why do they matter? They're not putting money in your pocket. So stay encouraged. Don't worry about your competition. Don't let the competition discourage you. Let it motivate you. Figure out your why. Figure out why you're doing it. So me, I lost my aunt. That was my motivation. Like, I know she would want to see me doing this. 2, now I have a son. 3, I have a household to take care of. 4, I want my mom to be well taken care of. 5, I feel like God blessed me with this for a reason. So I need to do it. Like, I feel like he gave me this. So why not take advantage of it? So just find your why, and no matter what situation you're in, go back to that. Every time, go back to that. Okay, I got a son. I can't not make this wig. I got a son. Oh, I can't not. Okay, like that. How and when do you incorporate new products into your brand? You'll know. Well, for me, you want to make sure the demand is there. So once, for me, like I sell hair. So once people keep asking me, do you have bonnets? Do you have silk wraps? Once you continuously get asked for something, like frontals, everybody kept asking me to do frontals. Okay, cool. I need to learn how to do these. So once the demand is there, that's when I say add something. I don't really say add something on hope or just like, ooh, hopefully my clients are like this. Find something that you know they've been asking for, and then you add that into your brand. And how to do it is research, because it just depends on what you're doing. For me, like silk wraps, I knew that all my clients they were getting frontals, so I know they need something to hold their frontal down. People don't want to walk around with a scarf on. Silk wrap, boom, you just throw it around your edges, you good to go. You can have it on, you got the little brand showing, you know, you can have your hair still showing. Cool. Put it up in the bun, you still, you know. So for me, I knew I wanted some silk wraps. I'm in the hair group. I'm in this group on Facebook that has vendors. I got on there, boom, anybody have vendors? Somebody had, a whole bunch of people commented. I looked through the different vendors, reached out, and you know, I asked the necessary questions to figure out what quality it was. Looked to find a good price. Boom. That's how I did it. Do you plan on doing hair for a lifetime? No. I plan on being affiliated with hair forever, but I don't plan on physically being on my feet doing hair forever. The goal is to work smarter, not harder. I plan on having my own shop, having people work for me, and I'm gonna be just traveling, you know, just letting the money come in after a while. Right now, I'm gonna be doing hair for some years, but that's cool because it's gonna get me to the point to where I don't gotta do hair. So I'll be affiliated with hair forever because that's where my heart is at. But I don't want to do hair forever. How do you deal with difficult clients? Difficult clients, I don't have too many, but when I do, I'm a real upfront person. I'm a real blunt person. I'm a real honest person. So with me, I put stuff out first. I don't let a client have to come to me. So if it's something, boom, if I know that I plucked something too much, I'm gonna say it to you, like, girl, my bad, I've overplucked this. You know, I can finesse it like this, or do you want me to get a new one? Like, I don't know. You just gotta be honest. You have to own up to your shit. A lot of people, I feel like, with my industry, I can only speak on hair because that's what I do. But for my industry, I feel like a client is upset, and then as a hairstylist, a lot of stylists place the blame on the client. Like, you cannot do that. This is a business. So for me, my first question always, what can I do to satisfy you? You have to ask that. And if they go all the way left field, like, oh, give me 2 free wigs, no. The answer is just no. If they say something that I feel like I can accommodate, or they say they want free bundles, I'll say, cool, you pay for shipping, I'll do this. Or cool, you buy the closure, I'll replace the bundles. Or, you know, find a way to meet the client. I feel like I care about longevity. I want my clients to stay. I don't care about right now money. I want money to be consistent. So for me, I find a way to satisfy my client regardless if they're difficult. Now, if they're just difficult, like I had one client that, she was ridiculous, y'all. The whole time that I was doing their hair, complained. Then when they left, told me that I didn't bleach. They wanted their hair black. Told me it went black. Sent me a picture. It was one strand. Like, you know how you have like a color strand, and it wasn't even a wig from me. It was a wig that they brought. But like one strand was brown. Like, clients like that, you know, all money not good money. So me, I personally reached out and told them I do apologize, but I will not be providing another service for you. Be upfront, be honest. Like, and I told them that I blocked them, and that's it. I'm never doing their hair again. All money ain't good money. So you can determine that when you have to take it that far. But other than that, if it's something that you feel like, even if sometimes you feel like you didn't do nothing wrong, still tell the client or the customer a way to fix it. So say you say I sent somebody a wig and they put it on, and the person that put it on bleached it too much, tried to bleach it again, something like that. I'm not going to just be like, oh, too bad, thanks for the money. You know, figure something out. Oh, you can replace the frontal by doing this. You know, if you just buy a frontal, you can send the wig back to me. I'll change the frontal out. You know, be considerate. You know, the people are spending their money with you. So no matter what, be considerate. That's probably the biggest thing. Be considerate. People are spending their money just like you pay your bills. They helping you pay your bills. Be considerate. Was it hard finding the perfect vendor for your hair? I don't think it was hard for me because I did so much research. Like, I sat on YouTube for hours, like hours. Every single day after work, I was on YouTube for hours. Research. I was taking little notes. I was listening when people were saying little websites or just a little bit about it. And my camera just cut off again. So I don't even know where I was at. I think I was saying that I had to do research. I did a lot of research to find my vendor. It wasn't hard, but I did have to do some work. I'm going to just say that because I really don't know where I was at with that. How did you research before finding the best vendor for you? That's a good question to ask. How did I research? So the first thing I did was looked up how to find a vendor. Like, the questions that you want to know the answer to, you literally got to type them in on Instagram. How to find a hair vendor. I looked that up. What not to do when starting a hair company. How to find bundle wraps. How to know if hair is good. I looked up that kind of stuff. So I'll give you some of the things that I did do. One thing is, when you're looking for a vendor, and this is T, when you're looking for a vendor, if they ask you for Western Union, if they ask you for anything other than PayPal, what's the other one people use? It's not coming to me. I'm a type that too. But don't ever send money through Western Union. Don't ever send anything that's just like direct cash. Send something that you have a paper trail, something that you have receipts. They have to send you an invoice. You have proof that you paid them for the product, because there's so many scammers, especially like with them foreigners. There's people in the United States that has foreign, like, it's ridiculous. So be very, check reviews, see if they have reviews on YouTube. But one big thing I can say is the companies that's actually good and like I don't know how to word it. So the companies that has good quality hair that's selling to like the bigger companies, you're not going to know the vendor name from YouTube, because when people have a good vendor, they don't make a YouTube video and say, this is my vendor. Like, your vendor is like, somebody so dope, the plug, that's what my vendor in my phone is, the plug, because that's what it is. Like, so I wouldn't get on here and say, hey y'all, I got my hair from Boom, look at this, look at the hair. You just don't do that. It's your keepsake, so I can't really say look at reviews on YouTube unless you do plan on doing like a bigger company that has wholesale. If you have a bigger company that has wholesale, look on YouTube. If you're trying to find your own personal vendor, like that you plan on keeping to yourself and that you want to use for long term, you don't want to look on YouTube. You just want to sample it. You want to ask them for samples. A lot of them will send you the hair for free. You just pay for shipping. That's how my vendor got me. I asked for a sample. He told me I pay for shipping. He'll send the sample. Boom. I sampled it. What I did when I got the hair, I bleached the hair. I combed the hair backwards to see how, like, when I shook the bundle, would it go back into place. With the lace, I bleached it. I plucked it. What else did I do with my hair? I wore it. That's the biggest thing. You cannot try to sell hair that you have not worn. It's like impossible. You can have 10 people wear the hair, but how can you give an honest opinion for something you haven't worn? Like, and if you don't wear your own product, people gonna be like, why would I buy her product and she don't wear it? Since I've sold hair, I've never ever worn a bundle from anyone else ever. So it's like, if you're not wearing your own product, why would I trust you to buy it and put it on my own head? You gotta be realistic there. So that's another thing. Wear it. It's just test it. Everything that you look for in hair, you need to make sure your hair have all those qualities. The thing that I say do is make a list of what you feel like when you're buying hair. What are you looking for in hair? What's the most important? Is it the quality? Is it the price? Is it how fast you can get it? Like, what is it that you look for in hair? So if it's price, that should be number one on your company's list. Price. So if you're looking for something that's cheaper, put that there. If quality is number one, that's what you need to look for. If convenience is number one, how fast you can get it, you need to put that on there. If you can find something with all three, that's amazing, because that was my main three things: quality, price, convenience. How fast can I get it? How good is the hair? And how cheap is it? How much does the hair cost? You don't want to go with the cheapest. You know you get what you pay for. So you don't want to go with the cheapest, but you do not have to go with the one that's the most expensive. Because just because it's expensive does not mean that it's the best quality. So you have to bleach the hair. You have to see how long does it take to bleach. How high does it bleach? Does it bleach to 613, or does it only bleach to like a sandy brown? And when you do that, the higher it bleach does not always mean that it's the best hair. That simply means the base of the hair when you buy the hair, the like back color of the hair. So if the hair is a darker based hair, it's not going to lift as bright. If hair is like an Indian hair, it's going to lift bright because it has a more yellow tone to it. Not to the eye. When you look at them, they all going to look 1B, but it's a science. Hair is just science. It's hard to explain, but it just depends on that, whether or not the hair is going to lift. But you want to pay attention to, once you lift it, how light is it? I mean, the texture of it. Does it get completely nappy? How does the ends look? Does it still look the same? Stuff like that. Those was the main things as far as that. What are some red flags you look for when looking for a vendor? I kind of said it. If the vendor is asking for you to send money like through weird ways, like wire the money to them, don't do it. You want to download WhatsApp. If you don't know what WhatsApp is, it's like a way to communicate without using your cellular service. It's over Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi or internet, so for data instead of like connecting the towers, you know. So you want to use that to communicate, but you need to like video chat with your vendor. That's what I made sure I did. I need to make sure they actually in this warehouse, they actually making this hair. So I video chatted with my vendor, and that's what made me feel secure. I could see that he was there with the hair. So a red flag is if they're sending you pictures that you see online. If you see pictures online and then your vendor sent them to them, it's a no-go. If you see you go on YouTube and you see a bunch of these pictures of vendors, you look up vendors, you see them same pictures, or you go on Google, look up hair vendors, and if you see them same pictures as the pictures that your vendors are sending you, don't order from them. Those are probably the biggest red flags. What should you look for? This is the last question. What should you look for when looking for a good frontal or closure? When looking for a good frontal or closure, you want the lace to be thin. Depending on your hair, your skin complexion, you want to know the color of the lace. So if you're brown, you want a brown lace. Not really brown, light brown. I say light brown lace. I never use an actual brown lace. I don't like it. Light brown lace. If you're yellow or high yellow or white, you want a transparent lace because those are white based. You do not want to put a transparent lace on brown skin because it will look chalky. Now, there is techniques to change that. You can tint the lace. You can use a spray, a lace paint, lace tint. You can do that, but if you don't want to go through all those steps and you want that lace to just sit, on the skin, you want to get one that matches your skin. So that's a big thing. How close together? How many knots is it? If it's so many knots you can barely see them apart, that is a terrible frontal or closure. If it's like such a straight hairline, let me pull out one of my closures. Hold on. If the hairline is super straight when you buy it, it's not a good closure. You want the lace to be stretchy, and you want the lace to be thin, not super thin. Well, HD lace is super thin, but you don't want it super thin because lace is already very what is it called? I can't think of it, but sensitive. It's not sensitive, but fragile. You got to be fragile with it. So look, if you look at the front of this frontal, this closure, this is a closure from my hairline, but you can see that it's already pre-plucked. Like, I'm gonna still pluck this for this wig I'm about to make, but if I didn't, it would not look terrible because it came pre-plucked right here. Now, if your closure or your frontal come like this, don't bring it to me. Hold on, because people do try this. So I'm glad somebody asked this question so I could show y'all what not to bring to the breeze trap. I was gonna do my makeup and do my hair and stuff, but I was like, nope, they gonna get it raw so y'all can see. I'm gonna look fine this weekend. Okay, look. If you come and your front of your hairline is like this off rip, turn around because I'm not doing it. Like, if this is what it looked like across the front, it's not pre-plucked, it's not nothing, it's probably bad. If you bleach the knots and they will not turn any color, they're very resistant, the knots are staying black, take them back. If you have a patch right here, take it back. I'm gonna put a picture in here of a patch frontal. I've had it come a few times. Take it back. Let me check and make sure nobody else dropped any more questions, because I did just post and say any more questions. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Oh. Yeah. My man calling me. So, yeah, that's it. One no more questions, though, for real. But thanks, y'all. Love y'all. And I'll be posting this soon. Or I don't have to say when I'm posting. But love y'all.